little bit.
Alexa, play Ozzy Osbourne because Mama, I'm coming home. He's going back to the Raiders. There we go. I got it out. Okay, I had to fart, and that's really what distracted me. Of course, football is king here in America, so we're going to talk about that first. You're wearing an Eagles hat, so we'll let you talk. What did your Eagles do against the Jets? How did that preseason finale look for you?
Yeah, look, they didn't get the win against it, but it didn't really matter. I think at this point, those are the guys that are trying to make a roster spot at that point, anyways. It's kind of their last time to shine. I still feel a little weird that we didn't go and keep Isaiah Rodgers, knowing that he signed for only $7 million, and we're having this cornerback competition thing here. There's still talks that they might try and bring in another elite cornerback here, which if it's Howie, I trust that he can make the numbers work and make it happen. So. I guess my only concern is that we didn't really have a third backup quarterback, knowing that, McCord didn't really look good. And in fact, he didn't look good enough because they ended up cutting him today. So he was our 7th round pick this year. And unfortunately, he didn't make the roster here. But there's good reason for that. Jumping into some little bit of acquisition news here. The Vikings signed former Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz over the weekend, which meant that Sam Howell was on the block. Yeah. So what's interesting about Sam Howell and Carson Wentz in this little small parody of this?
Right.
Sam Howell was drafted by the Commanders.
That's right.
He was going to be the savior of them, of much like Jaden is, but
Commandos. Yeah.
He was drafted and then was replaced by Carson Wentz in Washington. Mm-hmm. And then he goes and signs with the Vikings this year and gets replaced by Carson Wentz. So Sam Howell probably has a dartboard with Carson Wentz's face on it somewhere.
Right, yeah. Carson Wentz keeps coming and taking his lunch money everywhere he goes.
So Eagles trade for quarterback Sam Howell to for the Vikings, along with a 7th round pick. In exchange, the Eagles send a 5th round and a 2027 7th round pick. Like I said, our quarterback room was looking really thin there. Tanner McKee is dealing with a little bit of a finger injury there, so we kind of needed I wouldn't say a great second quarterback option, but just a reputable one that could suffice. And unfortunately, what we had in the room wasn't going to do it. So I'm cool.
Also, I don't see the Eagles taking Carson Wentz. So that's kind of a safe spot for a safe landing spot for Sam Howell. At least that's what Sam Howell thinks.
Yeah.
Until Howie Roseman goes full Machiavellian villain.
Yeah. and so somebody has already texted me and was like, I don't want to jump too much into this, but a certain team traded for Kenny Pickett, and we'll get to that here in a minute. And somebody goes, well, why didn't the Eagles trade for Kenny Pickett to get him back if he was going to be traded? Well, it's because you can't trade for a player that you already traded for. I think there has to be like a 2-year gap or something like that, right? I think we went over this.
At least one, I think.
One or something. Yeah. So that's why we didn't get Kenny Pickett back had we have known that he was on the trade block here. So Sam Howell, I'm cool with it. I don't expect him to see the field, but hey, you know what? That's a great option as compared to what we had. In the order of this, the Eagles then trade the following day. They get offensive tackle Fred Johnson back, which was kind of our Swiss Army knife on the offensive tackle. He kind of filled in when some of our guys got hurt. So he's been a great acquisition for us last year, helped us in some key playoff games towards down the stretch there, especially against the Rams there. Fred Johnson was a big help on that one. So we traded with the Jags for that in exchange for a 7th round pick, right? And then we turn around and trade offensive tackle Darian Kennard to the Packers for a 6th round pick. So how he does it again, he gives up a 7th and then reacquires a 6th to move up in the draft. So I don't know how he does it. I don't know what dirt he's got on other GMs in the league, but that's an impressive thing to do. Darian Kennard, he is technically a 2-time winning Super Bowl champion. But it's kind of like I showed up for the team project and I did absolutely nothing. But I wish him the absolute best. And Packers need offensive tackles, and maybe this scenery for Darian, get him on the field there might be something that bolsters his career for him, because unfortunately I just don't think he was going to make it on our roster for us anyways. So good luck to you over there in Green Bay, and have fun in Lambeau.
So. Fair enough. Okay, so for my team, the 49ers, they do end up getting the win 30-23 versus the Chargers. As far as transactions that happened over the last week, the 49ers make a trade for Sky Moore, the wide receiver from the Chiefs. So they get in exchange for a 6th round pick, they get a 7th round pick back. So basically you get Sky Moore and a 7th round pick in exchange for a 6th round pick. So basically you take a step back 1 round for Sky Moore. It's for a lottery pick. You needed the depth at wide receiver. Sky Moore needed a fresh start. I don't know that he's gonna actually. He's probably not gonna be any kind of long-term solution at the position, but he's a depth piece. He's a guy that if his body is fully healed, he does have a history of being fast. So
that's what I was interested in this, right? Is that usually guys that are pretty fast, they're not slot receivers, right? You got them on the outs, right? For specific reasons.
Yeah.
So my question is, if you get Ayuk back, you've got a guy on the end. Does that mean Pearsall moves to the slot position because you want to put Sky Moore on the end?
I don't even know. I don't think Sky Moore's gonna play enough once everybody's healthy that it's gonna matter.
Okay.
That's the truth. Sky Moore's a depth piece. He's not gonna take enough time. He's not taking anybody's lunch money. He's a 4th wide receiver, 5th wide receiver. That's what he really is. Unless he actually plays well enough to force somebody's hand. But as of right now, without Ayuk, Jennings is still a question mark right now. We don't know if he's actually going to be able to play in week 1. He's still questionable for week 1. So for now, it doesn't matter. Whether Ricky Pearsall's Ricky's going to be fine. That's not a question in my mind at all. That's irrelevant. So
I also did not know that Terrell Owens' son is on your roster. I did not know that at all.
Tariq Owens, yeah. I mean, for now, we're going to see how the final 53-man roster shakes out. In the chat, Papa G says you can't coach speed. While that is true,
you also can't coach hands.
Yeah. You can coach hands a little bit. You can also coach.
There's only so many of the gator traps that you can teach someone until it's.
No. That's part of it, though. That is coaching it. You can absolutely coach that kind of stuff. You absolutely can. But there are things you can do, and I just we'll see how this goes. I mean, it's like I said, it's a lottery pick. It's going from a 6th round pick to a 7th round pick for a lotto ticket. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't work out, you took a step round. You're going from a late 6th round pick to a late 7th round pick. Who cares? Nobody cares. It's basically free. Okay. Yeah, it's girl math. It's basically free at that point. Okay. It's fine. Does not matter. It's fine. I'm good with it. Anybody who's complaining on the internet about this move, anybody who's trying to make a big deal about it, shut the hell up.
But I get why people complain.
Matter.
When it did happen, though, I get why people complain, knowing that Scary Terry was possibly on the market, and I knew that wasn't gonna happen, but I can get why people were like, well, did we try to call about Scary Terry?
Sure they did. I'm sure they tried, and what they're willing to pay doesn't what the Niners are willing to pay with the room that they have in the salary cap and all that stuff. That they probably couldn't have made that work. So that's why I'm not even concerned about it. Looking at what they financially were able to do, this is probably about what I was expecting, the kind of move that they were willing to make. So it's fine, really. And this is like I said, it's a free. It's basically free. No problem from me. All right. So Patrick Taylor, the running back, was moved to the season-ending injured IR list. Isaac Guerrero was back at practice in the game. He did have momentarily get injured. We did see him get back onto the field later. So that was good to see. The 49ers did make a trade, though. They did acquire Brian Robinson for a 2026 6th-round pick. Okay. So that is actually kind of a good move. I think I like this move a lot. He's Isaac Guerrero is made of glass. We talked about it last week. So this is a guy who's a little bit more sturdy. He's a guy that can take a shot, there's me trying to make a silly little joke, but like seriously, he in his rookie year, he
that
did,
almost went over my head.
he did get shot, but he survived it, and so that makes 2 49ers who got shot in their rookie off seasons. Now
I do find that shocking though that the Commanders would do that. Maybe because they signed so much talent in the off season.
No, see, for me, I just based on how last season went, it looked more and more. It looked like Brian Robinson Jr. was not going to be in their future plans. Just how the season was going, like how they were using him and stuff. And so, like the writing was on the wall, so he was gettable. And so the Niners saw the opportunity. If CMC has an injury, there are way worse backups to have. So then, if CMC does go down, now you have sort of a thunder and lightning situation now with Brian Robinson Jr. and Isaac Guerrero,
Yeah.
So a little Sonic and Knuckles, if you will, a little miniature version of what Detroit has going on over there. I
mean, again, I don't particularly care that the Commanders moved on from him. I just think being in my division, I feel like it's an advantage for me in my division, but Krosky could be something that Brian Robinson wasn't. Austin Eckler, I think, is just not it. I think he's on the wrong side at this point.
Austin Eckler is still effective as a pass catching running back, right? But anything else, I think, he's not going to be he's not a 3-down running back at this point.
Yeah, and Jeremy McNichols I'm not sold on that either. So they're really high on Ja'Cory. What did you want to go by? Bill?
Bill.
Yeah, so they're really high on Bill. I don't know enough tape on Bill to be frankly honest with you. I'm going to see him very soon.
Bill Krosky.
Yeah, that's God, I don't know if that's the way I would have went, but hey, you know what? Teach your own. So yeah, Bill Krosky, if that's what he wants to be called by.
Anyway,
look, the Commanders are high on him. I thought it was an interesting move, but again, I feel like it's an advantage towards the Eagles in this retrospect, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay, so the wide receiver room, the reason why the Niners acquired Sky Moore is because Jacob Cowing is still injured. He re-injured his hamstring and will miss about 6 weeks. Juwan Jennings is expected to be ready for week 1 after missing training camp with a calf injury. That's what Shanahan said in his last presser. We'll see, though. I mean, I don't love that, a guy missed all of training camp with an injury. That's never a good sign. And CMC missed all of training camp last year with an injury, and we saw how that worked out. He only played 4 games last year. And
well, that was like also different too, because he was also seeing,
he was flying to Germany to get experimental treatments and stuff too to try to play. And that whole situation worked a little different, obviously. But I mean, still, they're like even like with other teams and other situations, when guys miss all of training camp because of injuries, you don't love that. Now, there was also the situation with Jennings wanting to get paid. So is this an injury or is this an actual injury? We are still unsure about that. So
that's fair.
That's the other part of this. So we just don't know. Okay, so I think we need to just move on to the stuff that the Raiders did. Well, even though Sam's not here, they did do a couple of things, especially today.
So Jacoby Myers requested a trade today, and I was like, man, they better pay this guy. And then literally an hour later, news breaks. So the Raiders signed Amari Cooper.
I was gonna say, Amari Cooper said, Alexa, play. I messed up the joke. Damn it! I stumbled over the joke. Okay, center.
So Amari Cooper signs a 1-year, $5 million contract to reunite with his old team. Little bit.
Alexa, play Ozzy Osbourne because Mama, I'm coming home. He's going back to the Raiders. There we go. I got it out. Okay, I had to fart, and that's really what distracted me. There you are. You're seeing behind the curtain, ladies and gentlemen.
Literally. Yeah. So I think it's a good move. I still think they should sign Jacoby Myers. I mean, there's no reason not to. I mean, why not have both of those threats? Jacoby Myers has been an excellent pickup for the Raiders for the last 2 seasons, given the fact that he had Band-Aids at quarterback throwing to him every single week. So I think they should also sign Myers too. He'd be a great slot addition. I think Amari Cooper, is he going to be like how he was when he was, with the Raiders originally? Maybe not, but he's still an excellent route runner. And I think he's going to have one hell of a season with Geno Smith and Pete Carroll at the helms of this offense. So I think there's
veteran leadership is, all that stuff, the old, Raider way. And I'm sure Sam would have a lot more to say about that than either of us could. And I'm sure it's just a lot of happy feelings about that kind of a reunion. He's a guy that had a lot of good moments with the Raiders. The last time that they were, in the playoffs, he was part of that team. He helped
Amari
make
Cooper
that happen.
And Crabtree.
No, he was not Crabtree.
Yeah, Amari Cooper and Crabtree.
Was Crabtree on that team?
Yeah, Amari Cooper and Crabtree. Those are your sides. And then they traded Amari Cooper to the Cowboys, I believe, right after that. So, yeah.
Sam says he's watching. He does love the addition of Cooper as a veteran and also pay Myers. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right there with you, bud.
Last year, I kind of broke it a little bit, but the Raiders traded for Kenny Pickett from the Browns in exchange for a 5th-round pick.
That's right. Baby hands Kenny Pickett is going to the Raiders. They lost because
Super Bowl appearance.
Super Bowl winning baby hands Kenny Pickett is going to the Raiders. So that being said, with Aiden O'Connell being injured and out for several weeks, it makes sense. You want to have somebody with at least competency behind Geno Smith should something go wrong. You don't want to have the season be done, should something happen to Geno. So totally makes sense. Get that. Okay. Just news and notes around the league. The Colts did end up naming Daniel Jones the starting quarterback for week 1. That is bad news for Anthony Richardson. That is good news for anybody with fantasy implications on the Colts. That
Indiana Jones is your starting quarterback.
I kind of hate that name.
I kind of love it.
Sam says Pickens to the Raiders, puke, LOL. It's Daniel Jones is not the answer. But I mean, I guess honestly, it does say a lot that Anthony Richardson couldn't hold off Daniel Jones. If he couldn't beat Daniel Jones for the starting job, it means that Anthony Richardson is definitely not the answer. So you might as well give Daniel Jones the chance, at least give your team a chance to not be completely terrible. Daniel Jones is good. Daniel Jones is probably good enough to keep you out of the cellar, at least to start the season.
Daniel Jones is the answer at quarterback if you were a fan of the Cincinnati Bengals, Jaguars, or the Houston Texans. Because I, as an Eagles fan, would tell you firsthand, he was the greatest option for the New York Giants.
Dude. Daniel Jones was perfectly cast to play Eli Manning in the Hollywood movie about the New York Giants beating the Patriots, and that's about it. That's it. He kind of looks like Eli a little bit, but other than that, I don't know. Anyway, Moving on, Chris Godwin is being activated from the PUP, but only to begin his ramp up to play games. He's still believed to be out until October. So for those of you playing fantasy, maybe hold off on drafting him. Let him fall down a little bit before you draft him. Terry McLaurin ends his hold-in. He did get his contract. He got his bag, 3 years, $96 million extension. And speaking of getting his bag, Trey Hendrickson and the Cincinnati Bengals finally agreed to terms, $30 million 1-year contract for this season. And then Trey Hendrickson is going to be a free agent after this year. So good for him. He can, get his money and then get the hell out of Cincy and then come sign with the real team,
Yeah, I mean, Trey Hendrickson, he might be on the wrong side of 30 as well, too. You never know. But Trey Hendrickson seems like a Cowboys kind of move in the offseason, if I'm be real honest with you. It feels like a Cowboys move. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on.
Yeah, after the way the Micah Parsons thing is being handled right now, Micah could be gone.
Hey, their coach said that Micah Parsons is going to suit up against the Eagles. They did not say which team he's going to suit up for.
He's suiting up against the Eagles. That means that could be one of 14 teams in this league suiting up.